So I'm just going to read this complaint incident report number 2021478. Costilla County Sheriff's Office, 103 Gasper Street, Town of San Luis, Colorado, 81152. Date reported September 17th, 2021. Time reported 8:05. Address 4153 Delaware Trail, 81138. In the Horoso Grid. Narrative completed. Synopsis. On September 17th, 2021, at approximately 4:28, I, Deputy Hummel, was dispatched to Seminole in Delaware on reports of shots fired. On arrival, I spoke with, I'm just going to say, KC. And KC, who is 42 years, around 42 years old, he stated that the resident of 4153 Delaware Trail shot at him with a rifle or shotgun. Under Sheriff Soto, Deputy Howerton, and Sergeant Velasquez went to 4153 Delaware Trail and made contact with the resident. The resident stated his name was Jonathan Masters, born in 82. When Jonathan exited his house, he was on his roof. Under Sheriff Soto was able to talk him off the roof. He was taken into custody without incident. Then I'm getting charged with 18-3-2061A, felony menacing, class 5 felony menacing, Costilla County Sheriff's Office, Victor Hummel. That's the initial investigator, Victor Hummel. So there's three folks. I thought there was some other people that was on the scene too. I'm pretty sure some other people arrived after they arrived. But okay, we'll just say it was those three for now. Howerton, Velasquez, and Soto. And I've talked to Velasquez. He was one of the first police officers I talked to when I went to Costilla County. Soto, I actually went to him. I drove all the way to San Luis to him. So I'm not for sure what the heck Casey had told him that was so, pristine and wonderful. Because when I told Soto about some felony menacing, animal felony, cruelty, some criminal mischief, he just shrugged his shoulders. He didn't give a damn. I drove an hour away to go to him. He just read it, shrugged his shoulders, and said he didn't really give a shit about the crimes in the neighborhood. And he said he's going to go talk to Noble Havens and just rubber stamp whatever decision he had made. And then he also said he was going to get back to me and look into who had killed my dog, and he never did. So I guess that's good policing, huh? Velasquez, when I went to go Colleen Romero, I paid her $600. She wasn't going to give me the soil sample. There's people out there. There's Heckman, and then there's Roman and Bertini. So that you got like 3 or 4 houses out there that's right there on the rocks. She was scraping it as if I didn't have, the sandy loam. If I didn't have the right soil, she was going to go ahead and reject me, and I wasn't going to be able to live on my 5-acre plot. I had paid for it. I had stayed over there. I was working on this and that, and, I was starting to get some things moving. It was nerve-wracking. But she was private, owning a business, and she wasn't trying to win me over. In fact, she was very much acting like she's a fucking right-wing fascist authoritarian dickhole who want to fuck me over, who want to take $600, do a sample, and then say, nope, you don't get to live here. But my soil was good. But what I'm saying is the hypocrisy. Is Colleen Romero going to say shit to that Heckman? That Ariel Uriah Heckman? He didn't go to Colleen Romero and said, hey, I'm here legally. What can I do in order to, be in compliance? He said, fuck you, Colleen Romero. Don't tread on me. I'm going to fucking set up shop and do whatever the hell I want to do. This matters. This matters because KC delivers to Robert Pickerell, and Robert Pickerell is absolutely essential to this case. And Robert Pickerell, if you want to know the full story, he has to come in and testify. And I got a lot of questions for Robert Pickerell. I got several questions for him, which I'll post later. I don't know how to get a hold of him. I don't think anybody knows how to get a hold of him. In fact, he was so genius, he would spotlight people. Robert Pickerell, he comes in, not listening to planning and zoning, right? He lives right next to the McDonald's, and he bought, his place from the same damn company. So wherever this company, they're just kind of bringing crap in wherever they could find it. Comes in, not listening to planning and zoning, being harassed and abused, and being on the side of the right-wing movement, being on the side of people that murdered Tecumseh. Didn't even try to be lawful. Didn't waste any money. I guess that's, well, we'll ask the questions later. But, I need, this is going to go to jury trial, so I'm going to get everybody and anybody that wants to come. Come one, come all. I once told Michael Gonzalez in the very beginning that the best way is just to get everybody in a room and let's just figure this thing out. Let's just sort this thing out. He hasn't even let me ask a couple questions to the original complainant. How about, are you sure? Are you sure that's what you... But apparently his eyewitness testimony is gold. He was driving a loud-ass big rig. He was listening to some music. Are you sure? What did you hear? And then he said he ducked down and he kept going. And then what? And then that's it? And then later on, 10 minutes later, I'm driving in my truck. But I didn't shoot nothing. There's no gun, right? There was no shooting, no gun being pulled out. Wasn't trying to scare. There wasn't. When shots are fired, there's only so many things, right? It could be like just a crazy drunken person. But shots fired, let's try to give it a rational reason. Somebody shot a gun. Why'd they shoot a gun? Oh, they're doing some target practice. They're doing some hunting. They're trying to do some felony menacing. They are defending their home, person, and property. They're doing some Article 2, Section 13. They're enforcing the Bill of Rights for Colorado. They're enforcing a police action. They are defending themselves. Or they're trying to shoot somebody. Not just trying to felony menace him, but they're trying to shoot. It's an attempted murder. So there's only about 7 or 8 reasons why somebody would shoot. So shots fired. I don't know where you all came from, but a couple shots fired doesn't really scare me. And let's see, class associations. There's non-family assault, aggravated assault, firearm. They're kind of saying here's some other things it might be in the vicinity of. I can't get restorative justice, they said, because there's a firearm involved. You know, when they arrested me, Deputy Hummel and Velasquez and Soto, when they arrested me, they had long guns. At least two ARs, and I thought there was 5 of them in 2 cars. And there should be body camera of all this, and there wasn't in any of that. The arrest wasn't in the discovery. Which, why not? Did they not have their dash cam on? Did they not have their body cameras on? They had their dash and body cameras on. Not Hummel, but Howerton, he had that big old vest that was on, so they had every tool in the world. So for some reason I didn't get that dash camera or that, because that was pretty harrowing. I thought somebody, my understanding of the situation was the person was acting like he was going to drive up into my yard and run over me and my pets, and I want to make sure that he didn't do that. So, written by Victor Hummel, September 18th, 2021. Just going to read this. On September 17th, 2021, I, Deputy Hummel, was on duty in the county of Costilla in state of Colorado. I was in full uniform. September 17th, 2021. I was dispatched to the intersection of Seminole and Delaware on a report of shots fired. I responded along with Deputy Schultz, Howerton, and Sergeant Velasquez and Under Sheriff Soto. Okay, there was 5. Hummel, Schultz, Howerton, Velasquez, and Soto. And then these are the 5 people that they're going to have to show up for trial. I mean, they said that they witnessed it, so these are state's witnesses. And then there's KC, there's the original complainant. So those, at the very least, if Michael Gonzalez seems like he's extremely biased and he's not going to allow anybody that I want or do, he's not, anyways, I feel as though at the very least, they got to come up and testify. So on arrival, I spoke with the reporting party who was identified as KC. He identified himself verbally to me as a different way. I received the rest of his particulars when I received his written statement from Deputy Schultz, KC. KC told me he was making his last delivery of the day when a male party at 4153 Delaware Trail shot at him. Last delivery, has he got a corporation? Does he have... These are good questions. Is that it says corporation registered with the state. You know, when I was in compliance with planning and zoning in Costilla County, I didn't care if anybody else was in compliance with planning and zoning. Just because I was doing it lawfully doesn't mean you have to. Now it's like, you know, why is that fair? I was in compliance and nobody else is? No, everybody needs to be in compliance. We need an orderly development of our... Alright, so let's see here. KC said the male party either had a rifle or a shotgun. Under Sheriff Soto requested that I come with him to 4153 Delaware Trail to attempt to make contact with the suspect. I left Deputy Schultz with KC to get a statement from him. Under Sheriff Soto, Sergeant Velasquez, Deputy Howerton, and I went to the address. So 4 of them were originally there. So I was thinking there was like 4 AR-15s or, you know, AK-47s pointed at me when I go up to the roof. I went to the address located at 4153 Delaware Trail. When we arrived at 4153 Delaware, we witnessed a male party walking around the rear of the property. Under Sheriff Soto and I watched the party as he walked to a brown pickup truck located at the far southeast corner of the property. The party grabbed what appeared to be either a shotgun or a rifle, and he slung it over his shoulder and headed inside the structure. Was a strap? I slung it over my shoulder. Not with a strap. Was it straight up and straight down? We approached the property very cautiously, using Deputy Howerton's patrol vehicle as cover. Deputy Howerton attempted to make contact with the party via the loudspeaker. I couldn't hear anything they were saying. Via the loudspeaker in his unit, the party reemerged on the roof of the property. And Under Sheriff Soto used the loudspeaker to ask if we could enter his property. The male party began beckoning us to come closer. Under Sheriff Soto repeated his hail, only this time he asked if we could enter, and if so, give us a thumbs up. The party gave us a thumbs up. I had no idea what he was asking me, so I was like, hey, I asked you. No, I was saying you can come closer to me and I'm going to talk to you. That was harrowing because like I said, I had called Lucy and I was talking to Lucy. It's kind of the only advisor that I got in my life, and she was like, just go out there and talk to them. Just see what they want. They seem like they want to shoot me. Oh, just go say hi. It's totally different for a white woman in America than it is for a white man, isn't it? It's completely fucking different. Just go talk to them. Oh, AK-40, AK Shmay AR Shmayar. When we arrived on the property, the party, John Masters, began berating Under Sheriff Soto for not looking into what happened to his dog that was killed. He said he was tired of being harassed and that the delivery driver kept driving back and forth on the road. There was somebody that just drove by today. This is September 17th, 2021. I've been getting harassed for over 2 years. Big loud ass engine, white SUV. They're pretending that they're just hunting. They're not hunting. They never came over here. They're fucking with me. I'm not stupid. They think you're stupid. And they also think that, apparently, they don't think that you're going to believe me. And that'd be unfortunate and stupid. You're going to let the criminal fucking right-wing sovereign pieces of shit motherfuckers win? So, okay, all the angels leave, then all you guys are a bunch of fucking hell's devils. All you guys are a bunch of hell's devils. You've had, what, 10, 20 murders in the last 6 years? You think there might be something wrong with the water? You think there might be the culture around here is sick and backwards? I left the area to go look for the rifle/shotgun that the party had. Deputy Howerton and I went and looked in the brown truck for the gun. We did not find anything. You just said you saw me with the gun going in, so you just want to check my truck. See, okay. We ran a couple of the plates on the vehicles that the party had on his property. One of the vehicles came back to Jonathan Masters. Under Sheriff Soto said that the party had verbally identified himself as Jonathan Masters. We're doing too much. I mean, if Schultz was there, Deputy Schultz has been out there before, and so has Under Sheriff Soto. I talked to Cruz Soto man-to-man at the San Luis courthouse, and then I had called 911, and he had come out there with a drive-by shooting. So, when KC was sitting there messing with me, I couldn't tell if he was just playing a little bit or if he was about to do, some drive-by, killing Tecumseh kind of, sort of Andre Psycho Barozanis McDonald level kind of crap. I couldn't tell. Also didn't have police protection, high crime neighborhood. I enforced my own private police action. I have a right to go make a citizen's arrest. So how would Howerton and the rest of these Velasquez and Schultz and Soto have liked it if I would have arrested KC and then, slung him over my shoulder and then brought him into the police station? Nah, he was driving a big rig, driving like a jerk, acting like he was going to drive up into my yard, run over my dogs, run over me and my dogs. I made an arrest. Here you go. Nope, you rubber stamp it just like you want to get all this rubber stamped. Okay, let's see here. Undersheriff Soto told Jonathan he was going to be placed under arrest. Undersheriff Soto told Jonathan he would look into his allegations, and then Soto said he was going to be placed under arrest. Jonathan was very cooperative, and we allowed him to lock up his 5 dogs and lock up his house. Undersheriff Soto and I transported Jonathan to the Costilla County Sheriff's Office without incident. He was turned over to detention and booked into the county jail for menacing. Nothing further to report. I would say, actually, that's pretty much nearly 100%. That is nearly 100% correct. Everything that was, I saw nothing that was outright, no, that's an outright lie. That didn't happen. All that happened. All that happened almost exactly as he said. Just some clarification things. I was inside my house for an hour. So again, it takes an hour for them to get out there. So apparently, if I would have pulled a Robert Pickerell, stayed in my house, would they have just left? Or if I would have pulled is it Capon or Troy or one of them? I don't know. Where they just drive out into the national forest for a while, or they just kind of hide in one of the gullies and then wait for the cops to leave and then, creep on around. Maybe Jepson, Samuel Lee Jepson, it might be him. That little fucking snake. That little Weasley fucking snake. Lived right behind me the whole time. Never, thought about a home welcoming party. Never thought about bringing me a blueberry pie over. What, I'm supposed to expect he's going to give me $20,000 to seed my small business? Fuck you. He is not going to do that. So, I was inside my house for about an hour, and then I was like, oh man, my gun's out in my truck. I need to bring it inside. I go outside, get my gun, and as I'm walking back, I see, I'm right behind my house, but I see, like, on the side of it, a car, like they were saying, they were using Howerton's vehicle as a cover, and, 2 or 3 cops with fucking long guns, AR-15s, like, pointed at me, and I'm like, oh, shit. I thought I had won. I thought I was getting harassed for, fucking over 2 years now. Motherfucking white SUV just drove by, the same SUV that hangs out with Robert Pickerell. Robert Pickerell's in the middle of all this shit. So it's interesting that KC is delivering stuff to Robert Pickerell. What was he delivering to him? Because he's not in compliance with planning and zoning. I tried to get a guy to dig a hole, at my property, and he wanted to know if I was in compliance with planning and zoning. So that's, I was a little mad about it, but he was doing his due diligence. Shouldn't you do your due diligence? And if you don't, then that means it's an illegal settlement. He is not in compliance with planning and zoning. He's not allowed to build, and you're delivering something, what, for him to build? You're delivering something for him to build, so you're carrying on with his criminality. In addition to the spotlighting and the harassment and the abuse and, the drive-by shootings and the killing of Tecumseh. He is either involved with all of this or he knows about a lot of it. But he's super smart. Oh, man, he has tricked Deputy Keith Schultz so many times. He just stays in his house, right? Goes around, commits all the crimes, and then when Jonathan calls, he also called me a cop caller. That should tell you something, you cop caller. Why wouldn't you call the cops? If you're an honest person and you see crimes, why wouldn't you call the police and report it? You cop caller. So he also worships evil or does some, I think he doesn't go around saying, hey, obey me because I'm strong, but I think he does like this weird, like, crazy, I'm going to put a curse on you and, chant, weird chants and just a bunch of weird-ass energy. You have to ask yourself, do you want say Sally Farmer wants to move into Costilla County. Should she do it lawfully? Should she obey planning and zoning? Because why would she? Waste all that time and money, don't get any police protection just to get harassed, and the reason why those are the right-wing stop and they want to steal. They're thieves. So they're on the side. I mean, my God, Costilla County is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to fuck over the lawful people? And how many times do you fuck over the lawful people until the rest of the people just say, fuck you guys. We're not going to obey with your dumb shit. If you're fucking over the lawful people, then you yourself are creating the conditions and the culture for the right-wing sovereigns for this devil's culture. You got Nazis out there. Basically, if you go out there, you got to go out there with the fucking gang. Hell's devils, Nazis. Because the police are not going to, just like Ted Rail said, nobody's going to protect you. So you got to protect yourself. And you got to come with a whole bunch of other people and people that will scare them. Not, you're just going to say I'm a bad person. Well, that doesn't scare me at all. I told Sheriff Danny Sanchez I was going to go the legal route. And he was like, whew, thank God you're going the legal route? Well, shit. Well, then we're all getting away with everything. That's weird. You're the sheriff. The legal route should scare you. Aren't you the one that enforces the law or you do something with the law around here, don't you? Oh, the legal route? Oh, they just rubber stamp everything I say and do. They ain't gonna listen to you. Woo! Thank God. Thank God. So you're gonna fuck over the lawful person and the people that we do know for sure. Troy's a fucking Republican since fucking 80s and shit. So they just have a lot of right-wing, circumstantial evidence, but a lot of, they sell water illegally, so they're okay with criminal behavior. They participate in arsons, or at least I've heard that Troy was bragging about his son committing an arson, which I was actually okay with, but it forgives all the other arsons that had happened. Do they know about the other ones? It's also, again, they're okay with breaking laws. Where are they on planning and zoning? Any septic tanks? Any cisterns? What about electricity? Well, they got electric going to them. So that means they got a leg up on everybody else. But do they got a cistern and a septic? How are they doing planning and zoning? But a lot of circumstantial evidence. And circumstantial evidence indicates to me that they're okay with criminal behavior. So do I have, 100%... I know who that person is, and I saw that person do, A, B, C, and D. No, not exactly. On, Troy's front. On Robert Pickerell, 100%. I know Robert Pickerell committed crimes against me. And he's in the middle of all this. He's in the middle of all of it. So he's got a lot of information he needs to tell the court. He needs to fess up. Tell everybody about everything. He's also convicted felon. So what was the felonies Robert Pickerell was convicted of? And yet again, you got, he's the one buying the water. So they're selling water illegally, buying water illegally. They're okay with this criminal culture. I wasn't even allowed to drive onto my property until I paid a $200 permit. I wasn't even allowed to drive onto my property. And then after I had a septic tank, am I allowed to live on it now? Because I'm wasting a ton of money on planning and zoning. I'm wasting a ton of money on rent for the RV. And those people were pretty demanding of my time. It was hard for me to get away to work on my stuff. It's just it makes no sense to expect people to rent or live in another spot while they work on their house over here when there's no police protection. The Sally Farmer. I mentioned Sally Farmer because there's a spot over there where they got a septic tank. And Sally Farmer's trying to move in there, and so she's doing it correctly. She's got a septic tank. She's already got the whole dig. The septic's in there, but she's not there. So, and it's been kind of empty for a while. What is Sally Farmer doing? Is she stuck where she's at, paying too much money, trying to be legal? And really, if those criminals are being smart, why not take her septic tank right away? Why wait for her to start to move in and then try to, take her stuff? Why not just, they've done big, tractors, and they've flipped over an RV, and they've stole catalytic converters, so it's not just like some petty theft. This is people with trucks and dump trucks and tractors and U-Haul trucks and yellow Penske trucks, moving trucks. So when Sally Farmer wants to go move to Costilla County, what's she supposed to do? Is she supposed to do it legally and then waste a whole bunch of money and then come in here and then just get robbed and raped by everybody and then just fucking leave? Or should she come in and just be, as equally, be as, ready to fight the hell's devils as much as she can? Go there like Robert Pickerell, don't say nothing to nobody, break all the planning and zoning laws, harass and abuse the local lawful people that are listening, to the respectable people, make sure you harass and abuse them. That's very important. When Sally Farmer comes moving in and you murder her fucking puppy and then ignore that fucking shit and then keep on ignoring it. I mean, you're creating the conditions for the right-wing sovereign movement. Why would a person, basically, I'm not gonna stay in Costilla County. And I, have the choice to do that, but it would suck if you were stuck in that situation. It would almost seem like you'd have to make a choice. Are you going to be on the side of these fucking right-wing Nazi piles of shit? Or are you going to be on the side of the police? Are you going to do your own thing? What are you doing? Not going to side with evil. That's for goddamn sure. So where the hippies at? Where are the hippies? We're the farming hippies. I want the hippie farmers. The ones who are going to raise a whole bunch of organic fruits and vegetables and have a whole bunch of cows and goats and ain't going to go around fucking over people and running over their fucking puppies and robbing and stealing their fucking bikes and taking their fucking shit and being a fucking Costilla County fuck. A typical Costilla County fuck. Or at least a Lobata Bridge fuck. We'll say that way. So the only thing I want to say is I was in the thing for an hour and I went to go get my gun. And then as I had my gun, I'm not for sure how I was holding it. I'm sure it was either, I have it has a strap on it. So if I slung it over my shoulder, I think I put the strap on. And then it would look like it's slung over my shoulder, but the strap is on my, so it's pointed straight up. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, but they come out with guns pointed at me. Now I'm allowed to make a citizen's arrest. So if I had 4 of my buddies go and arrest KC the way they arrested me at his house with 4 other guns, long guns, and then just take KC to the local sheriffs, they would have been fine with that. They're freaking out over a couple of warning shots. And you're telling me that if I would have actually arrested any of these rat bastards that I witnessed a crime doing, you would go ahead and rubber stamp? I don't believe you. I don't fucking believe you. I don't think you would rubber stamp the thing. I think maybe if you were smart, you would arrest everybody. But a part of me thinks that you just might fucking arrest me and let that motherfucker take everything out of my house. I was the lawful person. I'm the one that went to planning and zoning. You know everything about me because I told you everything about me. I wrote a 20-page application for planning and zoning. Robert Pickerell didn't fucking waste his time or his money at all. He came in illegally. He's still probably illegal. I'd like to know that, Robert Pickerell, if you're answering questions. Are you still not in compliance with planning and zoning? And then I had the gun over, my shoulder with it strapped on, pointed straight up, not my hand on it, not the hand on the trigger, wasn't slinging around like a crazy fucking person. Walk up to the house, and I saw them to the side, and I'm like, oh, shit. And I'd take the gun off my shoulder, and then I just throw it, because the front door is around the house, so I have to jump over the side of the house. So I threw the shotgun up over the side of the wall, and it lands in the dirt. There's like 3 rooms in the front there. It didn't have a roof, so I was able to throw it over the wall, and it lands in the dirt, and then I walk up the wall and cross the wall, and then I go inside, and then that's when I call Lucy. Lucy goes, go talk to them, so I go to the rooftop without a gun, and basically, what's up, guys? What is up? And I was going to try to negotiate the best sort of bail position that I could, because it was like, okay, they're pretty committed that they're going to try to arrest me, and it was harrowing because I'm trying to talk to them. I don't have a gun. I'm on top of the roof. I had one on my... They got guns. Restorative justice says, well, there was a gun. Well, they had guns, and every time a police arrest somebody, there's guns. Every fucking incident has a gun. So the restorative justice should say, well, did you have a police officer arrest you? Did he have a gun? Well, we can't accept you, fucking assholes. I'm so sick and tired. I feel like so many people, they stay behind a plexiglass, acting like they can never get harmed and do no wrong, and nobody's going to do no harm to them. And they stay behind this fucking, sort of system and just are fucking dicks to everybody else. I I'll get to more into that, but it's 30 minutes, so.